Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Simone SRNA, and I'm back with a new video. Today's video is going to be a talk through video where I'm going to be discussing business related things. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. First things first, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you click the bell notification down below. That way you're notified every time I upload. This video is going to be a very detailed video on a new product that I just launched, which I will put right here. It is the Ultimate Business Financial Workbook. I do have a business. It's important for me as an entrepreneur and as someone that really loves to organize to make sure I have all of my business financial things in order. So I use Google Sheets as a tool for me to kind of keep track of my expenses, my projected sales for the year, and then kind of break it down quarterly. That way I can completely stay organized. I also added like a break-even calculator, especially when you're trying to launch a new product and you want to know, how many units you need to sell in order for you to break even, and different things like that. So hopefully you find this video helpful. It is available now and it is currently on sale, so I encourage you to get it. This video is going to be super easy to use. The financial workbook is meant for small business owners. Even if you have a business long term, you can definitely utilize this workbook. It is simple, easy to use. Even if you're not familiar with Google Sheets or Excel, you can use it on Excel. I prefer Google Sheets just because I'm able to use it on multiple devices and I'm able to take it with me. It's very portable. I can use it on my phone. I can use it on my computer. I can use it on multiple different devices. I'm pretty sure you can do the same with Excel, but not everyone has Excel. So Google Sheets I find very easier to use. So I walk you through different sheets, what they're meant for, and explain everything to you. I will be doing a screen recorded tutorial on the next slide or next clip. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the tutorial. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you a more detailed, in-depth review on the brand new product that just launched as of today, which is the Ultimate Business Financial Workbook. So I want to go ahead and kind of walk you through it. It's pretty easy to use, but of course, if you're not new to or familiar with Google spreadsheets, I kind of just want to walk you through so that you feel very comfortable with using the spreadsheet, or the workbook I should say, once you purchase it. So the spreadsheet comes as a digital download in the form of an Excel spreadsheet. You are more than welcome to use Excel. However, I definitely recommend as a business owner to use Google Sheets. The reason being is because it is more accessible. You're able to use it on multiple devices and you can take it everywhere with you. That's something why I like to use it, and I actually find Google Sheets a little bit more easier to use personally. So your file is going to be in your downloads. I'm going to show you how you can upload it to Google Sheets. So in your search bar, you're going to just type in Google Sheets. Google Sheets is free for you to use if you have a Google account. You're going to go to Google Sheets here, log into your account. I'm already logged in. Here you're going to go to your file, open file picker here. It automatically populates to your drive. So you're going to go to upload, select from a file of your device. Of course, mine is in downloads. You're going to find the file, which is the Navy Blues Ultimate Business Financial Worksheet. You're going to open it and it's going to automatically download it to your Google Sheets. So I already have Google Sheets pulled up right here. And I'm just going to walk you through, the idea behind the pages. What are they about? If you are new to business, I think this is a great way to kind of map out, being a new business owner. If you're an existing business, some of these, terms and terminologies you're already familiar with. I definitely encourage you to Google anything that you don't understand, to get a better understanding of it. As a business owner, you definitely need to know your numbers. If you watch Shark Tank like I do, then that is something that they always tell business owners. You need to know your numbers when you're, approaching or wanting to negotiate business deals. It is important for you to know your numbers, know what the cost is, your profit margins, how much you sell it for, things of that. So this is kind of just a mini crash course into what you need to know. However, I definitely highly recommend that you do your research. So the first sheet that you're going to see is the annual sales projection. I'm really a big believer in having a sales goal, making a sales goal, whether that's for the quarter, for the day, for the entire year. So this is where this idea came from. Here on your left hand side, you see your products. Depending on what type of business that you have, if you have multiple products, you can do categories. Like my best friend sells teas. She has over 20 plus teas. So instead of her listing every single tea, she can just do the category of teas and just put teas, tea accessories, things of that. So there are 4 quarters, if you did not know, in a year. So this is broken down. The very top row is your annual overall, what you want to make. So you can really just plug in the numbers and kind of see based on your price here. So the example that I will use throughout these sheets is going to be a t-shirt and a book. So let's say that you sell a t-shirt for $24.99, and I want to make at least 10 grand this year. So you just kind of play around with the numbers to kind of see, what I want to do, what you want to do. In my mind, I like to think of, what's going on in that particular quarter. So in quarter 3, I may be starting Facebook ads. So this is kind of simulated from my personal business. However, these are not the numbers. So I'll be starting Facebook ads because I'm currently in a marketing course. You can find the link down below. But I'm currently in the marketing course. So I'm going to start Facebook ads in July, which starts the 3rd quarter. So I know I would expect that, once I start running the numbers and doing my ads, that my price of products or the products I'm going to be selling is going to increase. So the quantity here is obviously going to be more than what I'm selling in quarter 2 and quarter 1 because I'm not running ads. Quarter 4 is the holiday season. So of course I'm going to, assume that I'm going to have a lot more sales because it's the holiday season. Someone wants to give my products as a gift. So that's kind of where I kind of, guesstimated where these numbers are coming from here. So with the total, as you input your numbers, you can see what your total is going to be here. So if product 3, let's say I sell my hats at, let's say I sell them at $9.99. And I want to sell, let's say my yearly goal is going to be $10,500. I'm just making this up as I go. So I'm going to watch my number change and kind of just play around and see. I'm going to expect to sell at least, if I sell 40 hats in the holiday season. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's say that we're launching our hat line in the 3rd quarter, right? So I estimate to sell 10 in the 3rd quarter and 40 in the next quarter. So I can be somewhere around $10,500, which just gives me $10,600, which is okay. The next one is pretty self-explanatory. Anything you change here will obviously change here. So my next product, this here is just broken down into the different quarters. So January, February, March is the 3 quarters are in the 1st quarter. So you'll just take your number here. I said I wanted to sell 10 t-shirts, right? So let's guesstimate that I'm selling 2 t-shirts in January, 2 t-shirts in February. That's 4. So I'm going to sell 6 t-shirts in March, and so on and so forth. But let's also say that, January has come and gone and I actually sold 4. Cool. So that means that I only have to sell 4. Wait, Did I do that right? Yeah, so that means I only have to sell 4 in March. And that can kind of help you see, like, do I need to run more ads? Do I need to, you know, increase my email subscribers to get the sales that I need? Promote, things of that nature. If I need to hire an influencer to promote my products, to kind of get, you know, people knowing about your products. This is kind of a good way to kind of project and kind of, you know, set goals, set sales goals for your items. So the next sheet that we're going to talk about is the profit margin sheet. It is important that you know, like, what your profit margins are. When I was doing my research, when I first started my business, they say anywhere from 20% or higher as a profit margin is good. I personally like to aim anywhere from 40 to 50 or higher. So it's all in what you're selling in your business. So of course, my example is going to be the t-shirt in the book. So know what it costs to make your item and what you're selling it for and what your profits are going to be. So my t-shirt cost me $7 to make. I sell it at $24.99. I make a profit at $17.99, which is actually pretty good. So if I'm selling, which gives me a 72% profit margin, which is amazing. So let's say I sold 10 t-shirts. I made $179.90. Y'all cannot read. That is my total profit. So far, so on and so forth with the book. If I have a book that cost me $5 to make, I sell it at $34.99. My profit is $29.99, and I sold 100 books. That is an 86% profit margin. I made $3,000. So my total profits is $3,178.90. This is pretty self-explanatory. Your next sheet is going to be your profit and your loss worksheet. So as a business owner, it's important that you know how much you're making, you know how much your expenses are, and what your total net income is. So a lot of this will be based off of the other sheets that I'll show you in a second. So of course, what are my sales? What are the costs of the goods that are sold, which you would find on your profit and margin sheet? What is your gross profit? Calculating your expenses, and then calculating what your total net income is. And then at the bottom here, I have the end of the year totals for you to use. So for example, some of these you may not have any numbers for. So let's say that my income is $50,000. The total cost of my goods is, we'll say $7,000. My profit is $43,000. Let's say my expenses all together, I have like an office, a shipping center, all this other stuff. It cost me $10,000. And mind you, we're talking about in a quarter. So you're adding up what your income has been for January, February, March, each quarter. You're totaling all of that together, and you're going to input it into this sheet. Other income, this is more so, this isn't really necessary if you only have one single business. I added this more so, like, let's say you're using this and you're a YouTuber, and this is just for like other supplemental income, other expenses that you may have forgotten or anything like that. You can simply just add it in here, but it's just like an optional place. Let's say this, I got an amazing collaboration with a company, and they gave me $20,000 as a collaboration deal. I don't have any other expenses, so my total cost is going to be $52,910. So once you total up everything here will total completely, and then you'll get your total net income for the entire year. So this is kind of how you use this sheet. So your break-even calculator. When my best friend started her business, we were trying to figure out, how do I know if I broke even? And a lot of this, when I tell you that we use this, all these sheets in our business, like we use this religiously. I love the fact that I created this because I literally use every single sheet in this. So the break-even calculator will help you calculate, you know, how many units or items do I need to sell in order for me to break even. So we're going to use the t-shirt example. So our t-shirts cost $24.99, right? We sold, let's say we sold 500. So that's our volume. Our total sales is $12,495. So your fixed cost, this is definitely optional. Depends on what type of business you have. If we're renting an office, if you're doing advertising, if it's fixed. For me, and the purpose of this, I would focus more on the manufacturing cost, and that's more so like the cost, how much it costs you to make your item. So the cost to make your item. So when I sew t-shirts, I pay anywhere from, let's say it cost me $1,000. We'll say $1,000 to make my shirts. Actually, no. We're gonna use the $7 from. We're gonna use the $7 from here. So the $7 from here. So the $7 times 500. Which I already know would be like 3,500. Yeah. All right, so it's gonna cost us 3,500 to make. So that's our fixed cost. Fixed meaning it doesn't change. Now this is where you kind of have to think about, you know, if you're including shipping in the cost of your item. So that means, does your price include shipping, or is your customer paying for shipping? So packaging, how much is your packaging cost? If you're doing poly mailers, let's say you're doing custom poly mailers and they cost you $1.50. That's what you would put here. All the little inserts, don't forget like the inserts that you add, you know, the thank you cards, if you're using any tissue paper, things of that, those are the packaging costs. You want to factor that into the packaging per unit. When I get down to the shipping cost, this is something you have to think about, whether or not you're including shipping in the price. So does the $24.99 include shipping? Meaning if I'm, as a consumer, are going to your website and I purchase a shirt, is the shirt free shipping for me? If the answer to that question is yes, you need to add $5 to your variable cost. If the answer is no, meaning that me as the customer, I am paying for shipping, this is going to be $0. Does that make sense? I'm going to run it back again. So the shipping, the variable cost for the shipping is, if I, as the consumer, I go on your website, I look at the shirt, add it to my cart, I check out, and shipping is free for me as the customer, then I, as the business, I need to add shipping to this price. I need to add $5 because the shipping is coming out of my profits. However, if I am, as the consumer, I'm going on your website and I'm paying for shipping, then the shipping is $0 for me as the business. Hopefully that makes sense. It's going to make a difference into the following numbers that we're going to go over. So your contribution margin is the cost of the item minus your variable cost. So what I'm selling the product as in this scenario, I'm selling my t-shirt at $24.99. I also have to minus the cost of packaging, which is $1.50, which leaves me at my actual price. My contribution margin is going to be $23.49. So I need to sell 149 shirts in order for me to break even. Anything 150 and over is all profits for me. But I need to sell $149 for me to reach the manufacturing costs. Now, I'm going to show you here what that looks like. So 100, that gives me the price of my manufacturing costs. Did you see what I did there? Is I took $23.49, I multiplied that by 149 units, and that equals my manufacturing cost, which means I break even. I actually have 1 cent profit, if you want to get technical. Now, pay attention to this as well. So if I do 149 times 150, I have a profit of $23.50. If I do 2349 times 148, that means I haven't broken even yet. So this tells you I need to sell exactly 149 shirts for me to break even. All right, so for the next portion of this is the break even sales. Now it looks a little confusing, but I'm gonna walk you through what this means. This means that when I sell my shirts at $24.99, my sales in my Shopify or in my Squarespace, my total sales is going to be $3,723.51 when I sell 149 t-shirts. Does that make sense? So when I see the numbers in my Shopify, in my WordPress, in my Squarespace, in my Wix, my total sales, when I see the number $3,723.51, I know I broke even. Following? That's how you do the sheet. And then the sample budget is the last one that we have here. This is the meat and potatoes of this worksheet, is the sample budget or the budget sheet. So I added the sample budget just for reference. You can duplicate it and change your months. Duplicate the worksheet, change the months, and go from there. And you can keep duplicating them as you go along. That way you don't have to rewrite everything, and some things may still be standard for you, things of that nature. And then you can just kind of keep the worksheet going forever and ever and ever. It is a pretty simple format and just broken down into, sales, expenses, savings, inventory. So your sales. I personally like to do mine by the week. I start from, the first week 1 through whatever, and I like to write the dates. You're more than welcome to customize however you want. I like to have the sales goal. What is my sales goal for every single week? I'm all about setting a goal and trying to reach it. So that's just me. And then what is the actual amount that you made for that week? So my sales goal for the first week was $500. I actually made $1,000. So of course I have a difference of a surplus of 500, which is great. The percentages is basically, like the budget percentage and the actual percentage that you made based off the numbers here. So your business expenses, this is where you will add everything that you're spending in your business. I personally like to update my business expenses at least once a day. If I don't do it every single day, I definitely do it every other day, because I am constantly, either purchasing something for my business, even if it's something as getting something on Amazon. I want to make sure that I have an account of everything that I am spending. So your website host, if you use Shopify, if you use WordPress, Squarespace, you want to add that in here. I added categories. Like I said, you are more than welcome to customize a sheet however you want. This is basically, how often things are getting charged. So, with Shopify, I get charged monthly. Shipping is a monthly expense. So for shipping, at one point on Shopify, if you watch like my mommy entrepreneur vlog, I think I had mentioned that for the longest time I couldn't figure out how to get my customers to pay the exact amount of shipping based on their address. So there was a point where I was actually paying more shipping over the amount that my customers were paying for, and of course that was cutting into my profits. So I finally figured that out. So I just like to go ahead and calculate, you know, what I'm spending on shipping, because it does cancel out in the end, but I still like to just kind of see it. Packaging, this is like the packaging that I use for shipping. If I'm purchasing my packaging every single month, I want to make sure I keep account of how much I'm spending. That way I can budget a higher amount for the next month. P.O. box, if you use a P.O. box, you know that is vital for running a business. So I have a P.O. box, and I only get charged every 3 months or every quarter. So I will budget that amount in when it's the quarter that I'm actually in. Applications is another thing that I just added in here. This is applications for me, like, because my website is based on Shopify, you're able to add multiple apps, even your email service, even the apps that you may use on your phone for marketing purposes. You definitely want to go ahead and budget that in. So this is where you do that. Materials and supplies. For here, I like to put anything that has to do with like tape, package inserts, like my thank you cards. I get those custom made. So things that I need to run my business is really what I add here. Marketing and advertisement, Facebook ads. And then for me personally, I like to add my employees. You know, don't forget to pay yourself. So there's that. Your inventory is basically the items that you're selling. So in this example, we're selling t-shirts, we're selling books, we're selling hats. So this is where you'll go in to add those items. Savings and investments, self-explanatory. And then everything will calculate down here, so on and so forth. And you will see, you know, like what you budgeted, what your actual expenses is. I have a surplus of $3,639. This really isn't accurate because I didn't finish filling it out, but you'll go on to see. So just some like simple things I will show you, just in case you have any like troubleshooting errors. You are more than welcome to email me. I can walk you through it. Definitely utilize Google, YouTube if you have any questions. The colors you can change if you ever are stuck and don't really know, especially with the formulas. So these are populated formulas, so are all of these. These are just numbers that you type in. So for me, based off of my worksheet, you know, I personally like to have it organized and spaced out. So I like to add spaces. If you don't like to, that's fine. Let's say that you're adding, let's say G Suite. You see, well, one, do you see how that's not centered? So you can do one of two things. You can copy. You can go into this box. You can paste special, and you can paste format only, and it will copy the exact format that you have here. Or you can go here, center it, so on and so forth. I find the copy formula easier. Let's say that I spend, I think G Suite is $6. Again, I'll go here, I'll format. Actually, I'm gonna copy this one and paste the format here. Now let's say like that happened before. I don't have a dollar sign. You can go up here to the money sign, format as currency, and it'll change it. You go here, click red, boom, perfect. It's the same thing. But there's no numbers here. What happened to my numbers? They didn't populate. What am I to do? Well, do you see you're gonna hover over. You see this plus when you click on the cell? You're gonna click and drag. This will copy what's formula is in here and here. Or you can use what I just told you earlier. You can copy, you can paste, format, or formula only. And that's where you're at. I personally like to do the click and drag because it's a lot easier. So you see how, this is another troubleshooting tip as well. So if you notice, these numbers should really be the same. If you look up at the top here, the formula is off. So the formula says C17, which this isn't C17, it's actually C16. So those are a couple of troubleshooting tips if you can't really, if you're like, oh my God, like what happened to my numbers? Those are a few troubleshooting tips that you can use. Alrighty, so this concludes the mini crash course tutorial on how to use this financial workbook. Again, when you kind of play around with your sample budget and you're ready to create your own, definitely duplicate it here. You're going to change the name of it. You're going to add your month. So let's say July, and then you're more than welcome to go ahead and use it. But definitely email me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to purchase your own business financial worksheet. I will be coming out with a personal financial worksheet as well. I'm currently in the process of making it right now. So comment down below and let me know what are some of the things that you would love to see in it. And yeah, I'll talk to you on a later video.